Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to. Yeah.
Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, one of a kind, What's on your mind, What hard to find, Beautiful mind, Still in my prime, Just know that I'm here.
What's up, guys? Pound Offs Anonymous, episode 23. 23, Air Jordan.
That's right.
The Last Dance. Did you watch it?
I started to watch it. I haven't. So Brittany has no interest in it, and so I can't watch it unless she's not there. So okay. I'm looking forward to it, though.
So I didn't necessarily watch it, but I listened to all the breakdowns of it, and sounds like old MJ is a grudge holder. Is pretty much the theme that I got out of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So we took a week off, everyone. Can you give us a fucking break, please?
Yeah.
We it was Memorial Day, and it was nice. The lack of there's a lot of stress that goes into this. Not too much, but there is some that we gotta make sure that we have some halfway decent content, and I think I'm being generous by calling it halfway decent. Or maybe like out of gloating, calling it halfway decent, but
yeah,
to have content, and then my man here, he with my bearded scruffy wonder, Jeff, he does the behind the scenes cutting and editing. I mean, I know we say we don't edit, but he does. Got to insert the music stuff and the video and all that shit, and he puts it up on the stream. So there's quite a bit that goes into this one to, we can say 45 minutes to an hour and a half,
right?
Weekly podcast. So It was nice. Thanks. When we release this one, everybody has probably gone away, forgotten about us, not going to listen to us anymore, and we'll just be talking to ourselves and keeping on.
That's the importance of subscribing to this podcast. You need to subscribe so that it shows up on your, Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever. So
right, that would be nice. We would appreciate it, and it makes it easy for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's always easy to get wrapped up in who's liking, listening, sharing, stroking, blowing, all that shit. But it's kind of like it's like what Chris Rock says about the porn industry. Like, nobody's watching porn, right? But it's a fucking $1 billion industry, right?
Right.
Yeah. So nobody's listening to the podcast, but people are reaching out for help, and we're seeing that. So that's the goal.
Yeah.
So keep listening, keep sharing it, and you never know if one life gets transformed and changed for the better, then it makes this whole thing that Jeff and I are doing worth it. And we'll keep pumping them out to the best of our ability with a random break or two in between. Because we didn't take one. That was our first. I think it was our first Monday.
Yeah, and let me just add, we've released a couple of midweeks, so we earned that. So, also, Chris, your last week's podcast, man, that was awesome. The one about your Blues journey to the Stanley Cup, and that was really fun. And then
it was fun
to see all the memories pop up on Facebook, right? Because, I mean, we're right in the same time frame right about now, right?
Yeah, I think yesterday was the start. I believe it was the 12th or the 13th that was my 2-dayer of Game 7 of June. So the Stanley Cup Finals, I think, started a year ago yesterday or the day before. But it's right there in the sweet spot.
So what's the deal right now with the Blues? What do we got? They get to start out in a playoff situation?
Yeah, so sounds like there's going to be a 24-team format. And they're going to start some sort of some mini workouts in June. I think the target is that they'll start this playoff format at the end of July. It'll probably go through September, early September, maybe late August. And then they will award a Stanley Cup to the St. Louis Blues, who will be on top again. And then from there will be a break, I believe, and then they'll start next season, in December, January, so it'll be a shortened season next year because they got to have their, they got to rest. These guys in the playoffs, they beat the shit out of each other, man. They damn near, criminally murder one another. And then, like I said on last week's episode or 2 weeks ago, that then they shake hands afterwards and then are kind of, for the most part, in like a brotherhood for life type deal. But, dude, I appreciate you saying that. That was a lot of fun. I know it was long, but I got a lot of good feedback on it. And thanks for sitting around and just hanging out while I told the story. It was cool, and to relive it, man, got me going a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I had so much.
I was surprised by it. I really did not know how cool the story was. I just thought you must have hopped a cheap flight, and then, I don't know, bought a ticket from a scalper and got in. I didn't know how cool it was. So that's awesome.
Telling you, it was just fucking divine. It was divine. Yeah. Like, that's all I could say about it. It was just nuts. And it's something that one of those things that you just will hopefully I'll be telling my grandchildren. One day, and hopefully there will be more than just that championship banner and the rafters at the old Enterprise Center downtown.
Yes.
So Memorial Day, man, it always brings up, like, my Memorial Days of the past. It's always synonymous with, for me, with sports. Kind of like I said, a sports junkie. So it's always the Stanley Cup playoffs. Big Stanley Cup final is usually starting right around Memorial Day. And then it's the biggest motorsports weekend of the year in normal times, which in a past life meant one of my drunkest fucking coked up weekends that for years we would just hit it hard, and I'll kind of get into that. But I remember, I would always I was always a shit show, like, needing a sick day on that Tuesday because I had fucking hit it so hard on Memorial Day weekend, where most people might hit it hard, and then, like, Monday they'd take it easy. I'm like, fuck that. It's Monday, Memorial Day. Let's get wasted. But so Memorial Day definitely looks different now, and I'll say that this Memorial Day weekend, because of the pandemic and the state of affairs, and now it's getting divisive. Go fucking figure, right?
Right. Yeah.
It set in I've really had my nose down working. I've been really busy, which is a great problem to have, and I understand the perspective of. And I'm full of gratitude for how busy I've been at work. But and then with this mission that we do, I've been fucking busy during this pandemic, and it's kept me okay. So I thought, but it hit me this weekend, our Memorial Day weekend. It hit me because I didn't have shit to do, and normally, I'm navigating 50 different fucking pool parties, barbecues, trying to keep your eye on the ball of what Memorial Day weekend's all about. I had an uncle. I never met him. My dad's oldest brother was killed in Vietnam and got a Purple Heart. I posted his picture on Facebook. Heard some amazing stories about my Uncle Johnny. But I always grew up in a house where he was, my dad's brother was killed. We would go see his grave. We'd go to the Vietnam Traveling Wall when it would come around town. Buddies of mine, when they went to the Vietnam Wall in D.C., I still have never been. Shoot me now. I got to do it. But they would do the pencil. They'd bring it back for me. Like, how cool is that? Like,
yeah.
So I've always grown up in a house that is, it is mindful of the fucking ultimate sacrifice and shit. So that being said, like this year, man, it hit me that the world is fucking different, and it set in for me personally, like, and it was nothing out of control, but it was like fucking blah, man. I was like depressed Memorial Day weekend. I mean, we had some fun around the house. We did some yard work, which isn't my favorite thing to do, believe it or not. But still, I mean, Charlie was playing, and I found myself just watching old war films and I've been hooked lately on old westerns, John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, old westerns, badass fucking westerns. I love them. Ashley makes fun of me. She calls me 90. I'm like, they're the.
I know.
But it hit me. It set in. It set in this weekend for me personally. Back at it this week, but I noticed it. How about you, brother? Like, did you guys how'd you do this Memorial Day weekend?
It was great. I mean, we did the same thing with like some work outside, and we have a nice deck on the back, and we had to power wash it and get it kind of ready for the season for us to chill. I guess it's easier than someone who has a pool, but it was still annoying.
You got a big deck, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a big hardwood deck.
It needs, Anyway,
trim the shrubs around that big deck. All right, I'll stop.
Oh man, we did discover it needs to be painted though. That's gonna, I hate
fuck
that.
out of
It's
here.
not gonna be fun. But anyway, it was cool, man. We grilled burgers. I finally got a hold of some of that Well-Being from Jeff Stevens' company.
Awesome.
Yeah, so good stuff. Well-Being.
What flavor? Or what?
It was their original flavor, the wheat.
Victory wheat. Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Good stuff.
Awesome, man. Yeah, they're great people, right?
Oh man, so good. And then I even re-listened to our podcast with him just to listen to him tell the story of like how that beer was made and stuff. It was fun. If you haven't listened to it, you should go back.
Yeah. Go back. It was with Jeff Stevens. He's the founder of Well-Being Brewing. Glad you brought that up. And I still plagiarize his quote quite often. I shouldn't plagiarize it because I credit him. Yeah. But when one person gets sober, 10 people's lives change, and it's so fucking true, man.
Yeah, so good. But man, I'm with you. It's setting in for me. I'm sick of not seeing people, and I think that especially when we have these social holidays that come around,
right?
That's when it is. It's like, man, why am I not with people right now?
You guys weren't at Coconuts in the Lake of the Ozarks in that COVID soup fucking pool?
I was not there. Man, but I know about someone who was there.
Nice. Just tell them you'll see them in a 6 months.
Yeah, no kidding. I hope I see them again. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm right. I mean, people. I don't know how people label me, but and this could be a complete lack of self-awareness, but I'd like to think I'm right in the middle of a lot of things. I think a lot of us are really. We get polarized by things that pull us to the extremes. But with this shit, I'm in the middle. I'm super, like, somebody shared that meme. It's like the circle graphs, and like there's a spot in the middle where it says, it's a reminder, like, it's okay to be here. Like, it's okay to be like, yeah, I don't maybe think it's the best idea to go have a fucking gangbang orgy in the Ozarks. But maybe I can go to a gas station with my mask on and just be fucking responsible. I don't know. Like, I mean, is it like, can't we be all the things? Can't we have all the concerns? And
right.
That's
exactly.
kind of where I find myself on this shit. But you put it perfectly when you said social holiday, because Memorial Day is the kickoff to summer. It's the fucking barbecues with people, family, friends, and like sometimes you're hopping to like 4 or 5 different ones, and that's non-existent. And this weekend was like shit, man. I couldn't. I was restless. I was a little antsy, and so I felt. But did you guys just stick to yourselves, or have you guys? Do you have a circle of people or that are?
Yeah, we have people that we talk to, but we haven't really been hanging out with anybody. We had a friend of ours, his wife and kids went to visit family, and so we invited him over for Memorial Day. So we had our deck, we were outside the whole time, and it was good to have somebody over, and then he wasn't alone either, stuck at home,
Sure.
But I think that's just it too. Like, I'm in the middle there. Like, if you can do it responsibly, and then I don't know, I'm sure somebody would roast me for having anybody over, and then some people will say, "Who cares if you have?"
You didn't have everybody over, right? You're fucked either way.
Yeah, exactly.
We all just fucked.
Yeah.
So you guys did some grilling. How do you do those burgers? You put Andrea sauce on them?
No, I need to, dude.
Look.
I'm just a seasoned salt, pepper, throw them on the grill. And then Brittany, this time around, she made, have you ever had tomato jam? It's basically like this sweet jam, but made with tomatoes. And it's like a ketchup on steroids. It's awesome.
It sounds like it's because I just fucking hate the concept of ketchup. I can't stand it. But that sounds like something I could, because it's like actual tomatoes, not this fucking red bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And then so tomato jam and goat cheese burgers, and it was awesome.
Fuck out of here! That sounds good.
Oh yeah, it was good.
We've been ordering our. We have a guy that's working in our doing like spring clean up in the backyard type of deal, stuff that we can't do, and I would rather fucking pay somebody to do than do it myself. So until that's done, we haven't grilled, but we ordered Salt and Smoke, and I'm a Salt and Smoke's their brisket I think is the best in the area by far. I fucking go crazy on it. Like, I think Pappy's is known for their ribs, right? Salt and Smoke's, like, their briskets, I love it. Yeah. And then Sugar Fire, it's like everything's good. And their sides are amazing at Sugar Fire, and their meat's great. But, so we got a bunch of that, and you tried, and barbecued.
How can you not throw shout out to Beast, man? Give me some Belleville love.
Yeah. No. So, and I'm glad you said that. That's shame on me. Beast is in a different category just because it's. I always forget that Beast is in St. Louis now. Are they still? Yeah,
they are.
So I always think of, because they're over there.
They have the best pork steak I've ever had. It's just unbelievably good.
They are everything there is a fucking shit. Like, I love their snoots. I'm a big snoot guy. Burnt ends are good. Absolutely. Those Brussels sprouts with the pork belly, get the fuck out of here, right?
Brittany loves them, but I'm not a Brussels sprout guy, but good.
You could put pork belly on dog shit, I might eat it. You know what, Ashley and I don't give a fuck. Make fun of me. Pull my man card. Me and Ashley started watching my girl Joey Potter. We threw Dawson's Creek on Hulu this week on Memorial Day weekend. Started at season 1, episode 1, and we're gonna work our way through until Pacey starts tapping that ass. Dawson's such a tool, isn't he? Did you watch that?
Man. I never got into it. I mean, I know everybody on it, but I never got into it.
It gets, and then Sarah McLachlan and her singing always touches my heart. I've always been kind of a guy that likes to listen to the girly music, and I kind of daydream a little bit. And I could sing, I don't want to wait. Da-da-da-da-da-da. That's my Sarah McLachlan impression.
Remember that Lilith Fair thing? Did you, all those chicks at Lilith Fair?
Wait, what? Oh,
that was a big concert. It was like a big festival, and it was just all those girls like Sarah McLachlan and that Sunny Came Home girl.
Yeah. Sunny Came Home. I know that's I know that's. I'll have to look that up. That's awesome.
Paula Cole. That's
funny shit. But yeah, we we watched some Dawson's Creek, and we also watched which was okay, which was good, and maybe in light of the times appropriate, that Little Fires Everywhere, with Reese Witherspoon and that fucking Kerry Washington, man, she's a smoke show too. But it was good. Ashley wanted to watch that, and then thank you Jesus that NASCAR's back. So we did get the Coca-Cola 600 in. But yeah, that's what, like, back to the sports stuff a little bit. On Memorial Day weekend, it was always for the last 6 to 8 years of my drinking days. I stopped drinking when I was 30. And then up until a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, because life is just, I'll explain. We used to always go camping in Springfield, Illinois, at the fairgrounds.
Oh yeah.
There were motorcycle races, and my best friend's the best man at my wedding. His family are huge members in it's called BET at Belleville. It's Belleville Enduro Team there. It's a dirt track, motocross track, all dirt bike racing. So we'd go camping up there, and they would have. You've been to the fairgrounds in Springfield, right? I mean,
tons of times.
Right. So I go up there and get drunk on fucking corn dogs and whiskey, but
the best corn dog stand is right outside the grandstands there. It's the best
absolutely. Place. Yeah, that's where the corn dog was fucking originated, in Springfield, Illinois. So the cozy dog, baby. So every year we'd go up there, and then we'd camp, we'd go to races on Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday was the mile at the big dirt track inside the grandstands. Mm-hmm. And we'd get done with that, and we'd come back, and then there was, on Memorial Day, for on the national level, is, breakfast in Monaco, because it's the Monaco Grand Prix, lunch at Indy, because the Indy 500, and then Sunday nights the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte, so dinner in Charlotte. Well, that looked different this year, right? So the only race that ran was the NASCAR race in Charlotte, which is their longest race of the year. It's 600 miles, and it rained a little bit down there, so there was a delay, but it was on Sunday night, so I got to finally watch some NASCAR in between Dawson's Creek and Reese Witherspoon.
Now, is it weird, like other sports, to watch with when you don't see people in the crowd, or does it matter with NASCAR?
So it's a good question. With hockey, it's going to be
you can't do baseball without people in the stadium. I mean, imagine someone hitting a grand slam and it was just crickets. That would be weird, right?
Well, baseball puts me. I mean, I'm like I said, I watch all the sports. I'm a degenerate gambler, so other than that, baseball is a fucking snooze fest with fans. But and the way that that's all going, who knows if they'll come back even. At least this season. Yeah. But with hockey, you'll notice no fans now. It won't bother me to watch the best hockey players in the world play hockey. I'm all in, but for the casual fan, it might be a little goofy. I think people are so fucking dope sick for sports right now, though, and jonesing for this shit. Like, they'll watch it. You can put some. Like, they fucking Korea had these sex dolls in the baseball stadium. There, you could watch. I'm serious. They had the Korean sex dolls.
Oh my god!
As fake fans. So a guy watching baseball and beating off. Like, it's like, let's fuck.
Well, that's the thing. Have you ever? You need to. If you haven't watched it, pull up some YouTube clips of what the professional wrestlers are doing right now. I
shouldn't admit this on the air, brother, but I don't need to pull up YouTube clips. I got the EVR set for Raw and for the AEW now and NXT, and I just keep my eye on what's going on, and I would I guess I should admit that I subscribe to the WWE Network. I've been to 2 WrestleManias.
Really? I've been to Raw.
Yeah, I went to WrestleMania in Atlanta, and I went to WrestleMania in Miami. Rock Cena. Yeah, and I could share some stories about that. That was pretty fucked up. But you wanna, yeah, man, you wanna. It's like, I mean, you had mentioned that. What'd you say? Something on steroids with the tomato jam, like.
Oh yeah.
Go to WrestleMania and it's going to like the biggest fucking Walmart on the planet. And then I'll leave it.
Yes.
That's all I'll say. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My old man, he went along for the ride just to get fucked up with us, and he said that if he were a dentist, he'd go to every WrestleMania and hand out his business card because nobody had any fucking teeth. He said he said he ran into this guy. He didn't have no teeth. And then he met his old lady. She didn't have no teeth. Then he met their kids. They didn't have no teeth, and they had their dog with them, and the dog didn't have no fucking teeth.
Well, that's just it, man. That's like the step. That's like the step down from NASCAR with their fans.
Yeah, I think you're right. But it they put on an entertaining show, so it is weird though with the no fans thing. That especially. But
it
I
sounds
think
like gay porn if you listen, if you turn off.
Oh man, so I love you. The NASCAR thing with no fans. Once you settle in and are watching the race, it's not a big. You still hear the cars. The fans, you can hear the fans cheer in NASCAR like. And this has been a phenomenon that's happened to me that that is like, I don't know. I'm maybe it's probably a borderline unhealthy how obsessed I am with a certain race car driver because I've been a fan of his forever, and he came out of retirement and got back in a race car. Was hired for the 42 Chevrolet Camaro. So his name is Matt Kenseth, and if I move, like that's my shrine. Kind of a shitty, but like the middle section I'm pointing at is all Matt Kenseth stuff. There's his bobblehead up there.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm obsessed. I'm a member of his fan club, and
I've never even heard of him.
Yeah, he's 2003 Winston Cup champion, last Winston Cup champion back when cigs were cool.
Yeah.
And yes, I smoked Winston Lights. That was my cigarette of choice. Absolutely. Up until I quit smoking, which is the day I checked into rehab. Side note.
Nice.
But he has been out in NASCAR for 2 years and just out of nowhere, like nobody saw it coming. So to have him back has been, when Ashley's not looking, like I'm in my fucking blue recliner just watching NASCAR and jerking away, brother.
So
I will tell you
who wins this. Who won this weekend?
So Brad Keselowski won in a Miller Lite Ford, the Coke 600. And Chase Elliott should have won, but it's just a long story. He went pitted to get tires with like one lap to go, under caution, and everybody else stayed out, and he was just a sitting duck. But Brad Keselowski won. He's a decent guy. I like Brad. From time to time he's mouthy, which is cool, but kind of tells it how it is. But having that back, man, has been my fucking blessing, and I always go back to the memories of how fucked up I used to get on Memorial Day weekend and just like ruin it. Camping in Springfield, there's a bar across the street from those campgrounds called Franny's that we would go to, and I got to be careful. I wonder sometimes if I'm thinking I got to be careful, I probably should be. But the things that just get drunk and in fights at that fucking place, and they got to understand this campground is on that weekend they have the motorcycle races, like bikers from all over across the fucking state come to this. I'm talking there's Harleys and Indians as far as Indians like the motorcycle, as far as the eye can see, and with that comes some accurate stereotypes, some rebel rousers, if you will, and
Are they allowed to wear their colors in there? Are they not? Are they allowed to bring their vests and stuff? Or
yeah, and it's funny you say that because back in the day, the tavern I grew up still has a sign on the door. It's like, because of the biker gang, it says no colors. You have to leave your vest because otherwise you're gonna have a fucking war.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're all there, and it can be quite interesting. So. Man, there's been some crazy times in Springfield, and for some friends of mine that listen that have participated, they are cringing right now as I'm talking, thinking I'm going to bring their story to light. But it's not my story to tell.
Name names. Just kidding.
Yeah, I will say one guy had his one guy got bit at Franny's in a place that you never want to get bit at. Right. And we'll leave it in that. And from what I've heard, yeah. Anyway, but that was. There's been some fun times over Memorial Day weekend, and like I said to start off the program, that I would have to get like it was an act of God to not like get out of bed on the Tuesday morning following Memorial Day weekend to get up and get to work, but to just like not die. Like I'd wake up with a full-blown panic attack because my hangover's finally setting in. I postponed the hangover from Friday morning till I passed out Monday night because it was an all weekend. Like even when I would pass out Friday night, I would immediately wake up and start drinking. Like your body didn't have time to crash.
Right.
So that Tuesday, though, I mean, for years it was like, holy shit, man, because and I would have these panic attacks. I would to drive to my office at the time was, from Belleville to the airport pretty much, so 45 minutes of sweating, of like pulling over to get deep breaths. It was fucked up, man. And it's because I hit it so fucking hard. And I really, looking back, so once I stopped drinking and living that lifestyle, I would, for a couple years after, I would still go to Springfield and camp with my friends and be the sober one. And I had more, I mean this, man, and I'm not just saying this to fucking, like preach these hosannas and shit. Because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, sobriety and recovery. But I had more fun I have so much more fun sober at those races, camping. Like, it's crazy to even think about, because when you're getting all fucked up, it sounds like the best thing ever. Oh, let's go camping for a weekend and get as wasted as possible. And who's going to bring some blow? Who's going to bring some fucking speed? Who's got Xanax? All that shit. It was miserable to chase that. You wake up in the morning and you're like, I got to eat something for breakfast because I'm going to get so fucked up. I got to have something in my stomach, right? So then you start, you eat, you start drinking, and your body's just chasing this high and trying to maintain this fucking level of dopamine, and I shit you not, as soon as I started going to these fucking things sober, not just the races and camping, but these pool parties we talked about at the beginning of the show, as soon as I started going to barbecues sober, I mean, they were so much more entertaining for me. Like, I would enjoy them so much more, and like just drinking tea or club soda and having fun conversations with people and feeling, your body's just feeling better, and like you don't even know it. You don't even know all the shit internally to yourself that you're masking and you're suppressing and you're pushing to the side when you're self-medicating, right? Mm-hmm. But when you stop and you begin, your body is so fucking resilient because it starts to heal, and you start to feel the things that you're supposed to feel. And that, like I said, it's not sunshine and rainbows. You're also supposed to feel the sadness and the grief in your life and some anger in a healthy way. And your body starts feeling those like normal fucking people, and you start dealing with it like normal fucking people, and it just starts propelling you onward and upward, man. And it's those. I can't even imagine going back to like a Memorial Day weekend or a 4th of July or a Labor Day weekend and spending it all fucked up. I mean, talking about the NASCAR shit, you know, I've said it before on the show. I could do a whole fucking series on Talladega, Alabama. I went to Talladega for 10 years in a row. Screech will remind me that I did miss 1 year because I fucking had to take final. It was like fell on finals week at U of I. And then he'll make fun of me for making that decision because I ended up failing those fucking finals anyway, so I should have just gone to Talladega. He reminds me of this annually. But the stories that I could share from that fucking place are, I guarantee you people have heard the tip of the iceberg because the movie came out with the Ricky Bobby movie.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody has any idea unless they've been there and experienced it. The fucking level of debauchery and disgusting fucking behavior, and it's non-judgmental. It is you think that Lake of the Ozarks shit. There are, and that WrestleMania shit I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, go camping in Talladega and the free family section during the spring race, and it'll open your eyes. And I even wonder how... So I'll tell you this. One year, there was a tornado coming through, and track officials... This racetrack, Jeff, is bigger than Daytona. It's 2.66 miles around. It's fucking humongous, okay? And
wow.
If you've ever driven from Birmingham to Atlanta, you drive past it on I-20. It's just massive, and there's campgrounds everywhere, like around the track, as far as the eye can see, and RVs as far as the eye can see, and I Hate Jeff Gordon flags as far as the eye can see. It's Earnhardt country, Earnhardt and Allison country in Talladega. So
yeah,
one year, there's so many people. I would say that it's probably 200,000 people down there. Maybe more, including all the workers and including the residents that come out and sell barbecue pork butts and everything, knock off T-shirts, and it's just crazy. Well, one year this tornado was at after dinner time. Everybody's all fucked up. Like I think it was a Thursday or Friday. We'd get down there on a Thursday and then we'd leave on Monday morning. So it's like a Memorial Day weekend, and we would. I guess it was the Thursday night or the Friday night. The track officials came through on golf carts to all the campgrounds and were like, you guys, we need to evacuate. You need to leave. You need to go to a hotel room. This storm's coming. It'll be here in this ain't going to miss us. Hour, 2 hours. Everybody's like, fuck you. Nobody's leaving. Right? Nope, not one person heeded the warning. The storm was so bad and they were so fearful of what was going to happen. And this brings, because I've seen this with the COVID shit. They emptied a dozen or two tractor trailer, ice trucks, tractor 53-footers, emptied all the ice out of them because they were going to have to use them for temporary morgues. They thought it was going to be that bad.
Oh my God.
We slept right through that motherfucker all drunk. I'm telling you. And let me tell you, it came. The hail, I woke up. My buddy, we'll call him Vern, was in a tent, okay, passed out, fucking drunk, floating. His air mattress was on, the water in this thing, he was literally off the ground, passed out. Like, the motherfucker could have drowned. There was in his wallet was floating next, around him in the tent.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
Incredible. So that's how many people are down there. Like, it is, they were, to illustrate, and... to tell some stories about that place. I mean, I did fucking blow with a cop down there. Like it's just a free for all, man. It's a free for all. There's the South's finest, if you want to call it, are alive and well down there, and it's a crazy time. But now that and Talladega might be one place that I don't know if I care to go to sober, but
right.
But everything else I do, and it kind of piggybacks off the episode we did 2 weeks ago about the Stanley Cup. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for my sobriety because I enjoy things like that to the fullest that my body can enjoy it. That with the natural levels of fucking dopamine instead of injecting all kinds of not injecting, but drinking, snorting, doing all that shit, injecting putting all these fucking chemicals in my body to self-medicate. But yeah, man, it's a different world now, and that hit me this Memorial Day weekend, and we're the outlook of the summer, hopefully these numbers start going down and people can start getting out. I know, I mean, Charlie hasn't played with another kid for 2 months, so we got to get him. He's been really such a trooper about it, but we're ready. I'm ready to get back to church. I know we don't need to rush back. I understand that, but with Evie, our pastor at the Clayton side of the church Jeff and I go to, with her leaving soon, or like imminently, want to see her. She's been an instrumental person in my family's life, and it's bittersweet because I'm excited for her new chapter. She's promised that she'd come on this shit with us, so
Good. Let's get her on soon.
And she's got Italian blood in her, so I'm not saying she's going to come on here and start talking like us, but she can talk like us. Like me, at least. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah,
I don't want to put that on you.
I have no Italian.
Yeah. So we nobody's perfect. I
got the Irish going though.
All right. Yeah, I can see some red coming out of that scruff.
Yeah.
So I know I want to have her on soon before she heads. She's moving to Kansas City and being going to be a senior pastor of a large church out there, and I've heard that it be one of the largest churches that a woman's been a senior pastor for. So I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But our hearts are broken, and I hope she feels a little guilty. But anyway. So and then. I have trying to find the right time. We have a colleague, a friend named Chad Sabora that wants to come on, who is a fucking pioneer in the recovery game and has saved a lot of lives in St. Louis. He was just named a hometown hero in St. Louis Magazine for the month of April, I believe, for all the work he's done for legislative reform and harm reduction in the heroin and opioid, game, whatever you want to call it. He's got a place in the city that helps a lot of people. So that's exciting. There's a therapist I'm going to have on soon that can talk about some grief recovery and anxiety shit, which and talk real about it. I think because her story is quite. It's just something you guys got to hear. So there's some exciting things on the horizon for us, Jeff, this summer. And this was fun, man. I said it after we did the Stanley Cup thing. I want to get on here with you. I want to just do our thing. I like to just sprinkle those in where we can just bullshit. And hope it doesn't put off too many people, or free country, listen or don't listen. But I have fun, man. Anytime we can bullshit and catch up, and I know that sometimes I hog the mic, so I love to hear your input.
Well, you're a talker, and I'm not much of a talker, so here we are.
It's a good mix, right?
Is the Indy 500 usually this weekend too?
So it was, yeah. It did first time since World War II they didn't run it.
Yeah. I had friends that had tickets to that and did not get to go. And, so pretty sad.
Yeah,
deal.
so that's every Memorial Day weekend. That's another one there's some people that are fanatic Indy 500. Like they won't even look at NASCAR because they're so fanatic about open wheel racing and Indy 500. It's a whole thing. But like I said, I'm gonna try to be in the middle. I love it all. Like, why not? You know, like, how about a both and, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Instead of either or, right? But yeah, this was fun, man. I'm glad we got to shoot the shit and catch up, and take a break. That was it was nice to not have to worry about it. Not that I take a break is maybe the wrong way to put it, because I know you were so busy,
Right.
with a production that you were putting together at your work, that I don't know if taking a break is the right way to put it.
I will say it's good to, we still have our day jobs right now, and we're trying to balance that, or at least I'm definitely trying to balance it. And I would rather take a break than like put out something half-assed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I'm glad you brought that up too, because like I don't know about you, I was talking with Ashley this weekend, like this, I think it came to me on Memorial Day weekend that we've punched through this podcast and still are putting them out there during a period of uncertainty, a period where nobody's really listening to podcasts, so hopefully they can catch up when they start getting their car, but or go to the gym and do those things again. But I am excited to get back out there, man. I'm excited to sit with you in person and record where we were recording and have guests come in like that. I'm excited to do that, and I didn't realize how excited and maybe times like this are important, because I didn't realize how much I loved it. I was so passionate about when we started this thing, and it's not that I've lost any passion, but I'm sitting in my fucking basement, and you either at home or at church or your office, and we're doing this, and it's great, and thank God for technology. But I'm just ready to get back out there.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go meet with people. I'm ready, like people that are reaching out. It's all virtual now. I can't go sit with them.
Right.
I had a kid just yesterday asked me if I could take him to rehab, and I was like, man, I can't drive you, but I'll pay for your Uber, no questions asked. So, like that's a drive that I want to make. That's a drive I fucking got a heart on to do. Like, and I miss that, and I'm thirsty to get back out there. And I know it may not be next week, it may not be next month, but it's around the corner, and it's good to keep my eye on that ball, because I am super passionate about this, and I'm proud of you, because we've still maintained a good show here that's helping people, and also dealt with our own shit, man, and our own fucking depression over this state of the world right now. So yeah, that hit me this weekend. So getting out too, like I go to the doctor the other day. I'm slowly getting out, doing a couple things in the car, and we've been super careful because of my mom, but we're all starting to dip our toe in a little bit, right? So the other day I was driving and just listening to fucking music in the car, listening to the radio, like, man, I was like, shit, I haven't been doing this like I used to. All I do, I mean, I was in traffic every day. You're commuting from fucking Belleville, so you're listening to something, whether it's a podcast or music. And I remember on one of our shows, one of our guests was saying how music like is therapeutic. I know I'm very dear friends with a like licensed music therapist, and there's shit to that, and I haven't been listening to any fucking music. Like, I mean, I'm not like I used to, and that hit me when I did that. So this weekend I was like, and even early part of this week while I'm working, and instead of having, I just will play some music in the background, and it gets my fucking mind stirring in a positive direction. And I've always been like that to music. It makes you sit and think. And sometimes I when I was drinking, I'd start go wandering down the like a fucking country song. My old lady left me, my dog just died, I pour me a whiskey, pour me a double, everybody's dying in my life, shit like that. So now that I'm sober, I daydream to these when I'm listening to music in a more positive way. So yeah, I'm thirsty to get back out. I'm hungry for it, and I didn't even know this is how we should shoot from the cuff on these podcasts. Like you said something that made me think of that, and I'm glad we got to it because it's so important. And I'm looking forward to sit in the same room with your ass and have a guest in, and going out to fucking lunch afterwards, or out for a club soda afterwards, whatever time we do it. Like, fuck yeah, man. And it's coming, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this podcast because we've stuck our nose to the ground and we've kept it going. And I'm not trying to give each other hand jobs here and be like gloating, but I think there's some. Ashley reminded me of that this weekend, and I think she's right. Like, there's shit to be proud of, and to get there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, for sure.
And that fucking excites me. So man, with that, you got anything else for this sode?
No, I'm at work now, and I hear people starting to stir, so I guess we better wrap up.
Yeah. Tell them all we're trying to fucking do Jesus' work here.
There we go.
And just back the fuck up, all right? Tell them all I said hi, and
I will.
And you working at a church, our closing's always appropriate. Enjoy the show, everyone. Please subscribe, listen, share, do all the things. It helps us help others. If you want to be a part of it, if you want to be a partner, if you want a hat, if you want to help, reach out. See Pondoff at pondoffsanonymous.com. Find us on Facebook. And as soon as Miss Kitties and the titty bars are open, you can find me bellied up there. Just kidding. With that, thanks everyone for listening. Jeff, so great to just bullshit with you, brother.
Likewise.
All right. Thanks, boys. Let us pray.
If you're struggling or know someone that is, please have them check out our podcast and reach out to Chris or me. We want to listen, and we're super eager to help. Pondoff's Anonymous is Chris Pondoff and produced by me, Jeff Allen. Our music is Anti-Hero by McCall and Gentle Waters by Wild Wonder. For more information, visit pondoffsanonymous.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram.